Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for important and interesting happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you don't know you have. The sources of this information come from the smart device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to these sources, anything on the coalition and anything we collect throughout the show, links will be down in the underbar of the description below. Of course, anything collected throughout the show will be posted after the show. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander, and you are a viewer, and we will be joined by the Golden Loon here in a minute. Anyway, today is Moon's Day, aka Monday, October 9th, 2023. So let's jump into the history today, shall we? I'm a little ahead of us right here. Let's start us off here in 768. Charlemagne and his brother Carloman I were crowned kings of the Franks. 869. Charles the Bald was crowned king of Lotharingen again. That reminds me of somebody I know, like another bald king. Anyway, the year 1000. The year 1000. Leif Erikson reached Vinland, possibly Lands, Ox Meadows in Canada. This is reputedly the first European to reach North America. Good old Leif Erikson. What else do we got here? 1192, Richard I, I believe he's the Lionheart, yep, left the Holy Land for England after initiating a 3-year truce ending the Third Crusade. 1200, 12-year-old French noblewoman Isabella of Angoulême was crowned queen consort of England to King John in Westminster Abbey. 12 years old. Yikes. Things were a lot different back then. 1238, James I of Aragon conquered Valencia and founded the Kingdom of Valencia. Okay, so you conquered and then rebuilt them. Okay. 1290, last of 16,000 Jews expelled by King Edward I left England. Well, over the past 5,000 years, the Jews have been expelled from over 200 countries, and I really doubt every single last one of them removed them just because they were Jews. There's always a give and take. There's always, it takes two to tango, but it takes one to start. We've just been joined by
the Golden Loon. Sorry, I'm late.
Yeah, not too late.
Creaky bones.
Yeah. I heard you hooting and hollering down there.
I got up out of my chair.
Yeah.
Walks will take it out of you.
Yes.
What does that have to say about age?
Well, I'm just fine, so.
That makes you feel worse.
Well, no, I was just talking about in 1290, last of 16,000 Jews expelled by King Edward I left England. And I was going on about, over the past 5,000 years, the Jews have been expelled by over 200 countries. And I really doubt every last single one of them is just because they were Jews. Let's hate Jews. I don't think that's the reason.
There's such a history of hating the Jewish
they did something. They do things, and I can't say anything without at risk of being accused of being an anti-Semite. Despite
we all know the Holocaust, but it goes back so much further.
Yeah, it does. But there's
and the way Israel got formed in the beginning in 1947 was they had been so dispersed around the world, not just Germany, but they were dispersed to Germany, all over the world.
Obviously, they're doing something that people don't like, and they don't stop. And but we can't talk about it, otherwise we're Nazis. So
But it's just throughout our history, it's just amazing.
That's what I'm saying. You look at.
I'm sorry, I keep bringing it up. It just baffles me.
Well, it baffles me too.
What is it?
I really don't think that every single person in the history of the world just decided to hate Jews for no other reason, just to hate. No, there's a reason.
As kids, I had Jewish friends.
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
I have Jewish friends today.
But
so
there was a slang.
Don't
calling
say it.
Someone a Jew.
Yeah. Was a nasty thing.
A nasty saying.
Yeah.
Why? How did that get into our culture?
Yeah. But it's not just our culture, it's the whole world. For the past 5,000 years, the same shit keeps happening to them. The only time they left willingly was during the Exodus, and that was when the Egyptians tried to bring them back. So when they were slaves, allegedly. After it's been discovered that they very rarely actually had slavery, so that really puts into question the whole Old Testament. But, like...
Well, I don't know about that, because slavery was so predominant.
Well, yeah, but like...
the world.
It wasn't slaves who built the pyramids and stuff. They've discovered that. Like, the pyramid builders and all... Those were craftsmen. You don't just get a bunch of random-ass slaves to make something that precise. Those are craftsmen.
Make it, but the craftsman would be placing it and cutting it and all that.
Yeah.
Getting it up there. Now, was there some supernatural way to do it? Levitated in some way? That's always open for discussion.
Well, that's a whole rabbit hole of things right there. I'm just saying, it was not the slaves who built ancient Egypt for the most part. They had craftsmen. Like, yeah, they had slaves, but it wasn't the slave culture that people believe, and certainly, it wasn't only Jewish slaves, like the way that they try to make it seem. Like, anyway, that's a whole discussion. I don't want to start going down that and start saying things that people might find offensive despite being 100% accurate, but in today's world, the truth is racist. So, anyway, let's move on up to 1410. Earliest mention of Prague's astronomical clock, the world's oldest still in operation, built by Mikulas of Kadaň and Jan Sindel. Astronomical clock.
What year again was that?
1410. Earliest mention. So it's already existed. This is just when it's being mentioned in writing.
Yeah, this is when it got recorded somewhere.
So it's already been around. This is the world's, and it's still operating today. 600 years. Amazing. So yeah.
I can't keep a dishwasher going for 6 months.
Yeah. Well,
600.
They certainly don't build them like they used to. For a reason. Planned obsolescence. Anyway, 1446, the Hangul Korean alphabet was first published in Korea by King Sejong the Great. Oh yeah. The Koreans, were a people before the country. 1558, Meridia was founded in Venezuela. All right. 1635, religious dissident Roger Williams was banished from the Massachusetts Bay Colony. He was a theologian and colonist.
He was banned?
Religious dissident.
No.
So, you think differently than us. Ban him.
There was a problem in that day.
Yep. 1651, English Parliament passed the Navigation Act. Okay. I'm gonna look that up here really quick. Actually, I'm just doing a surface level look at that. Let's see here. Intended to promote the self-sufficiency of the British Empire by restricting colonial trade to England and decreasing dependence on foreign imported goods. Okay, so basically strangleholding the American colonies into only being reliant on Britain, which would make sense, being British colonies,
Yeah.
You don't want them to trade with France, who is your enemy.
Yeah.
So, 1665, due to the Great Plague of London, the British Parliament met at the University of Oxford rather than the Palace of Westminster. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
As if changing the area will somehow make you immune. Because that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about, back in the day, they still believe that washing hands had nothing to do with health.
Yeah.
So, actually, there's a whole story. The doctor who was a whole pioneer. If you wash your hands, especially with soap, and rinse it off with water, then it'll get rid of all the bacteria and all the illness. He was we think cancel culture is bad today. Oh, he was ostracized. He was kicked out of the country. He was threatened by death. Actually, that sounds exactly what happens today. So, 1,000 years ago, today doesn't matter. We're acting the same old. We haven't learned a goddamn thing in 1,000 years. Pathetic.
As far as a species,
as far as how to handle situations. Somebody thinks something different of you. That doesn't make them your enemy. That makes them somebody who thinks different than you. So try to figure out, why do they think different than you? What is their stance? Maybe they're right. Maybe you're wrong. You don't know. There's been many times I've been proven wrong. It doesn't really matter
to coincide,
Yeah, find mutual agreement and try to figure out something out. Don't fight. How does that solve anything? Fighting.
Yeah.
Arguing, canceling. No. Anyway, 1668, Massachusetts Society stormed the Palace of Heretics, Spanish Governor Jose de Paternina.
Heretics? Ooh.
I guess that's not Massachusetts. It says Mass Society, so I guess maybe
Oh, I thought you said Massachusetts.
Well, it says Mass, okay. But that usually, sometimes they shorthand Massachusetts to Mass.
No, that's
like a congregation Mass.
Yeah.
Oh. We also have 1701, Collegiate School of CT, I guess Connecticut, Yale U chartered in New Haven, and Yale's in Connecticut, right?
I thought Yale was in New York.
No, Yale's not New York.
No?
Yale University. Connecticut.
It is Connecticut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in New Haven. Yeah.
I thought it was in New York. Okay.
No. What's famous university in New York?
A ton in New York. I mean, you're gonna get a whole.
New York University, Hunter College, Columbia University.
Columbia.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking of. That's a
Yeah.
major. That's
Cornell.
Cornell. That's another big one.
Yeah.
Those are both. What do you call them? Universities.
Ivy Leagues.
Ivy Leagues.
Yeah, no, that's specifically was because there's universities everywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, I could say like
Yeah.
UCLA, but no, like
Yeah.
you think of Berkeley, you think of Irvine, you
Yeah.
think
Oh.
of Stanford, like
Well,
the big
you
names.
think UCLA's right there with Stanford.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like people want to go to Stanford more than want to go to UCLA.
Probably Stanford's a niche above, I would guess, but I'm not one to ask. I'm not a.
As far as
scholar that's-
popularity, yeah.
Well, standards. I'm going by.
I don't know.
The top standards in the country.
Yeah. Anyway, we got 1716. Britain and France signed a treaty. Okay. 1740. Dutch Governor General Adrian Valkenier allowed murder of 8,000 Chinese inhabitants of Batavia. Whoa, that's not cool. Allowed murder of 8,000 Chinese. That's disgusting. I'm no fan of China, but like people are people, okay?
Yes,
Governments aside, I don't give a damn what government rules over you. We are all humans on this earth. Like 8,000 white people, 8,000 black people, 8,000 Chinese. 8,000 people.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Don't murdering. Wow, awful. 1779, at Siege of Savannah, Georgia, during the American Revolution, Continental Army General Casimir Pulaski was wounded by grape shot, which is a type of cluster munition, and he died 2 days later. And this guy, is he the Polish guy? Yes, he was. He saved George Washington's life once.
Really?
Yeah. He actually, let's see here. Let's see if I can see the actual thing. Volunteer, kind of. American loser. Yeah, here we go. Battle of Brandywine, Pennsylvania. The U.S. or the Americans lost to the British. Polish soldier Casimir Pulaski saved life of George Washington. That was when he was a Polish soldier.
Okay.
And then George Washington, right here, the next one, on authorization of Congress, appointed Casimir Pulaski as Brigadier General in the Continental Army Cavalry.
I wonder what he did to save him.
Like probably I think I know I think this is the time when he was tipped off, or something that he almost got captured, or something.
Well, that's when he went across the
Delaware. That's something else.
Yeah, they snuck out at night.
No.
They were going to get captured.
No.
Surrounded.
No. This is something else.
Yeah.
Before that.
I know that.
So no, like this was like during the early, because in the beginning, because Washington's history, when he was a part of the Redcoats, he was a loser. Like he lost so many battles, he lost forts. Like he did not have a good, start on his military career. And then something happened, and then he became this badass. But he started off pathetically. Like it was sad.
Wonder if he
figured
out to change his tactics or something.
Yeah, well, that's how you learn and everything. But no, like I think if my history is correct, he was at some battle, or he was at some place, and the British were like, they knew that he was there, and he didn't know that they knew. And then the Polish guy somehow knew, and he came in and got him out of there, or something. I don't know. Maybe my history is wrong. I don't know the exact
It'd be
semantics.
interesting to know how he saved his life. But anyways,
this poor guy died. So yeah, like my hats off to you, Mr. Pulaski, sir. And I'll never make fun of the Polish people again. So just this one man gave me respect towards the Polish. Carte blanche.
Well, I don't think he ever disrespected them either.
Well, the jokes, how many Poles, I'm never, it's not that I'll find them offensive. I just won't say them anymore. I don't say I don't say mama jokes or anything. After mom died, just respect. So. Anyway, moving on up to 1781, Americans under George Washington and the French under Comte de Rochambeau began the bombardment of Yorktown, the last battle of the American Revolutionary War.
Ooh,
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm surprised at this.
It's amazing we beat the British.
Yeah, well, it was mainly because of like the French, really. Like, because Rochambeau
without
here.
him, we would have never.
Well, Rochambeau is the one who came over and taught us European military tactics and how to go up against, head to head with the British.
Yeah.
Our ragtag army, like, I'm not even talking about, the Minutemen and the militia, the actual regular army was so pathetic that, like, there's
They're
no
all
way.
farmers and stuff. That's all they were.
Well, that was the militia. The actual regular army.
Well, they were still from the people, and they grew up farmers and everything.
True.
No military experience.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
and drill and all that stuff. Yeah, but like there's that that one scene from The Patriot with the famous the cannonball coming and knocking the guy's head off, and then what's his face said this battle was over before it began, because if you don't have the training, if you don't have the discipline, if you can't go up, like knuckle to knuckle with the British line infantry, it doesn't matter. You're done.
Yeah.
So the French really came in and helped us. With that.
Oh yeah.
With that training and all that stuff, Rochambeau is the one who trained. So, anyway, what else do we got here? 1799, sinking of the British frigate HMS Lutine with the loss of 240 hands and cargo worth 1.2 million pounds off the Dutch coast. Gee, that's heavy, Doc. 1.2 million pounds. Yeah, heavy. 1804, Hobart in Tasmania was founded. Okay. 1806, Prussia declared war on France. 1817, University of Ghent officially opened.
University of what?
Ghent.
No.
Ghent, yeah. 1820, Guayaquil, Ecuador declared its freedom from Ecuador. That's cool. And slavery was abolished in Costa Rica on this date, October 9th, 1824. 1831, Ionianus Cappadocius, the first head of state of modern Greece, was assassinated in Naphtalion. That's not good. The first, head of state of modern Greece gets assassinated. That's a sign of bad things to come. 1835, the Royal College Colombo established with the name Hill Street Academy in Sri Lanka. We got a meeting at the U.S. Naval Academy, established the U.S. Naval Institute in 1837.
U.S. Academy?
Yeah, a meeting at the U.S. Naval Academy. Okay. They had a meeting and they talked, and then they formed the U.S. Naval Institute.
Right.
So,
which I don't know what that is.
Well, the Institute of the U.S. Navy.
Yeah.
So, some kind of, probably still around today. 1845, eminent and controversial Anglican priest John Henry Newman left Anglican Church of England and is received into the Roman Catholic Church. So
that sounds like a biggie.
He swapped religions.
That sounds like you don't do that easy back in the 1800s.
You barely do that easy today. Nah,
you can flip-flop anywhere.
Well, yeah, but if you're like a position...
I'll tell you one thing, though.
If you're in a position...
two people that marry, one's maybe a Catholic, one's a Protestant.
Oh,
How
God.
do you raise your children and stuff? That's a difficult thing to decide.
Or one's a Muslim and one's a Jew.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that happens.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
One's a Shiite, one's a Sunni. Holy shit! That would be amazing. What else do we got here? 1854, the siege of Sebastopol began during the Crimean War.
Sebastopol.
That's very topical to today.
Yeah.
1855, a U.S. inventor, Isaac Singer, patented sewing machine motor.
Ooh. Singer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Singer sewing machines.
There you go. That's why I said it.
Huh. Well, sing me a song. 1855 as well, Joshua Stoddard of Worcester, Massachusetts, patented the first calliope, steam-powered musical instruments.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Calliope. What is a calliope?
I have no idea.
Let's look
just as it's a music, it plays music is amazing. Steam run
instrument. Why did I get a bunch of anime? Oh, what are these?
Oh,
okay.
Now it's really cool.
Oh, the circus thing. Which, by the way, that song, I think I've spoken with you before about that, but that song was written by some European general or whatever, and that was supposed to be like his military's what's the word? Intimidating marching music. Like, you know how they have So can you imagine, like, with because it was supposed to be intimidating, and then it got turned into a circus. So imagine it was supposed to be like serious. You see, like a freaking like legion going.
Like the circuit coming to town, yeah.
You look ridiculous with your shields and your bright red armor. You're just ridiculous.
That's awesome. Right?
Yeah,
I love that. That's a fact that we gotta hold on to.
Yeah, that's why I do this show. 1864, we got the Battle of Tom's Brook. Confederate cavalry that harassed Sheridan's campaign was beaten by General George A. Custer and Merritt's cavalry divisions. All right.
Not to be confused with Custer's Last Stand.
No, that is the same guy.
Oh, I know it's the same guy.
Oh.
But it's not the.
No, that's not Custer's Last Stand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, he survived this one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
1865, first U.S. underground pipeline for carrying oil is laid in Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Yeah. First pipeline. 1870, Rome was incorporated in Italy by royal decree.
Who was?
Rome.
Rome. Oh,
Yeah.
Man.
There's the second unification of Rome.
Oh,
Or
okay.
of Italy. Second unification of Italy.
Okay.
Because we spoke a couple days ago, actually, I think it was during the week, you weren't here, but like Rome was annexed by Italy and then Italy made it their capital.
Okay.
So Rome was its own like city-state or something
Yeah.
like that. We also have 1874, World Postal Union formed in Bern, Switzerland. And Bern's, the Bern Convention, Bern's a pretty significant city in world politics.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I think, like the Bern Copyright Convention and all that stuff.
Never heard of it.
The World Postal Union. Let's take a look at that. I think that might, be the
Of Switzerland, though.
Universal Postal Union. The Universal Postal Union is a specialized agency of the United Nations that coordinates postal policies among members' nations and facilitates a uniform worldwide postal system. It compromises 192 member states and is headquartered in Bern, Switzerland.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
there's a global.
That even makes it more.
It's a global
more
decree.
emphasis on it. Okay.
Yes. No, that's why I said Bern is extremely globally a significant city.
Yeah.
So,
You got me now. I understand.
yeah, and let me just look at the Bern Convention. The Bern Convention on the Conservation of European Wildlife and Natural Habitat. So, they cover all sorts of stuff. So, Bern is like a headquarters. I think that's where the UN is actually headquartered. Because we have it one, in New York, but I think, hold on, significance
Well, the UN is in New York, for sure.
of
That's the
Bern.
major-
Switzerland, too. It's Switzerland,
Yeah.
Bern was made a free imperial city in 1218. In 1353, it joined the Swiss Confederacy. Yada yada. Bern became a large city-state and a prominent actor in Swiss history by pursuing a policy of sovereign territorial expansion. But yeah, as I said, they're extremely global, politically significant. 1876, the first two-way telephone conversation, first over outdoor wires.
Oh. Telephone.
Yeah. And we're going to have another telephone thing here in a little bit. 1877, American Humane Association organized in Cleveland. 1888, Washington Monument opened for public admittance. And an interesting thing about the Washington Monument, guys, sound like such a Sheldon. Interesting thing about it. Funny thing. Did you know? No, no, but the Washington Monument, this is not really uncommon knowledge, but you know how it changes colors? Halfway up, the marble is different.
Okay.
That's because when they were about halfway through, the Civil War broke out. And then when it was done, and then they started it up again, the quarry that the original marble was from was dry.
Yeah.
So. Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like those fun facts.
Did you know? God, I'm such a Sheldon Cooper. 1899, first British troops reached Durban, South Africa. And 1900, an 8.3 magnitude earthquake shook Cape Yakataga in Alaska. Holy crap.
8.3.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's huge.
8.3. Here, let me do to the camera what 8.3 would look like. Yeah, that's an 8.3 from a static position.
No, just go dead.
Yeah. Well,
you would have no camera.
oh yeah, well the power would probably just get
Yeah.
sliced. I don't know. 1903, 11 inches or 28.4 centimeters of rainfall in 24 hours in New York City. That's substantial.
That's a
Foot
lot
of rain. Yeah.
In that short a period of time. They had a big rainfall up there last month or a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Flooded the whole city.
Yeah. And the whole fire in Canada and all that stuff
oh, that was a while back.
made the city look like California.
Yeah. Nice orange hue to it.
Yeah. Nice
Great.
orange. Yeah. 1905, First League sanctioned baseball World Series began. New York Giants of the National League defeated the Philadelphia A's of the American League 3-0 in Game 1 at Columbia Park. Oh yeah, those Yanks, man, or the Giants, pretty good. So, 1909, Ty Cobb stole home in World Series game. Ooh, that's ballsy.
That's kind of,
Yeah. And 1 year later, Nap Lajorie challenged Ty Cobb, batting average with 8 hits, 6 were bunts, as Browns third baseman Red Corridan played deep. Cobb still won. Of course he won. He's Ty Cobb.
He didn't win everything. He did lose now and then.
Well, he had to portray some semblance of mortality to the lesser beings. So, 1914, German troops attacked Antwerp in World War I, or took Antwerp. Didn't just attack it, it took it. 1915, Belgrade, Serbia surrendered to the Central Powers, the Central leaders. And Woodrow Wilson became the first U.S. president to attend a World Series game. A piece of crap. 1921, Babe Ruth hit first World Series home run, only Sunday game ever pitched by Carl Mays.
That's kind of a weird thing to put in there.
Yeah.
Only Sunday game pitched by Carl Mays. What?
Who's Carl Mays?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even have a
weird.
clickable name. Like, who? Why do we care about Carl Mays?
I don't know.
Maybe the writer of this was related to them or something somehow. 1924, Municipal Grant Park Stadium in Chicago, Illinois, now known as Soldier Field, was officially dedicated.
Oh, okay.
Almost 100 years old.
Yeah, Soldier Field.
One more year, it will be 100 years old. Happy 99. Although now next year, though, it can't play with Legos anymore. So,
What?
ages 1 to 99, Legos. It's on the box. You reach 100, you might as well, like, just stop wanting to live because you can't play Legos anymore. It's illegal. No. 1926, NBC, the National Broadcasting Corporation, formed.
Oh.
Yeah. 1929, part of lost Piri-Reis world map compiled by Ottoman General Piri-Reis in 1513, rediscovered in the Topkapi Palace Library, Istanbul, earliest map of Columbia's voyages.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, that's what it's like. There's so much things just in the archives, just lost. Like
Yeah.
the last scene from what was it, Raiders of the Lost Ark, when it's like it's being it's being looked over by top men, and the guy just hammers the crate, and he's wheeling away the Ark of the Covenant in an unmarked crate in this massive warehouse that goes off into the horizon of just piles of unmarked crates.
Crap,
God
yeah.
knows what is in there.
Yeah.
And that story is all across the world. Every museum, every library, every institute of higher learning and technology and everything has archives. Down in the basement, down in the top floor, whatever. Every building in the world has some kind of archive in that manner. What is in there?
Yeah. We hope, like our library in Washington, D.C.,
Yeah.
we hope it's all categoried and everything else. We know exactly what's in there. Somebody does.
You would think.
We would hope.
Yeah. Anyway, 1930, first transcontinental flight by a woman completed. The pilot was Laura Ingalls. Cool. 1932, Soviet leader Joseph Stalin expelled Lev Kamenev and Grigory Zayunev from the Communist Party after a power struggle. Ooh.
Lucky they lived.
Yeah. 1934, assassination of Alexander I, King of Yugoslavia, and French Foreign Minister Louis Bartholomew in Marseille by a member of the Internal Macedonian Revolutionary Organization organized by Ustasa. So that is very complex what just happened. But man, they killed one of my people.
Yeah.
They killed an Alexander. Man, it's not nice. While that was happening, Baseball World Series, St. Louis Cardinals rout Detroit Tigers 11-0 at Navin Field to clinch 4 games to 3 series victory and 3rd championship. 11-0.
Yeah. The Dodgers opened the playoff series this year. I don't know what they did yesterday, but they lost 11-2.
Well, that's a little better. At least they
Yeah,
got
loss is
to
a
it.
loss, actually.
A loss is a loss, but I'd
Doesn't
rather
matter.
lose with a 9-point deficit than 11.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a little better. You know. We also have 1936. Hoover Dam begins transmitting electricity to Los Angeles.
Hey.
Yeah, which once again it's reading critical lows. So, like all
Yeah.
all that water, all the stuff that we got from all that rain, it's gone.
Well, they didn't get near. Unfortunately, the Sierras don't have anything to do with that portion, the Hoover and all that.
Yeah.
It flows towards the Pacific Ocean,
Yeah. Oh.
and hence we have Lake Teneri now, or whatever it is.
Yeah. Is that the one in
Central California.
Is that the major flooded one?
Yeah.
Where all the Burning Man people got like flooded out or anything? I thought that was the Burning Man festival.
Oh no, that was out.
Death Valley.
That was just that was out in Vegas, out in the flatlands of Vegas. You know, when you're going down, you can look when you come down the hills.
Yeah, isn't that in Death Valley?
No.
Coachella?
No. This is almost towards Vegas.
Huh.
As you come down the hills before Vegas, there's just all those flatlands as far as you can see. No, this is Tulare Lake. Was the biggest.
Was that the extinct lake?
Yeah, the biggest freshwater
okay.
lake this side of the Mississippi.
Huh.
And it's been extinct for. The Indians used to survive off it. What's the matter?
Do you have any idea how funny it is? This side of the Mississippi, like,
I can see on your face something tickled you.
I mean, like you're talking like a frontiersman. It's the rootin' tootin' biggest
It was huge.
lake this side of the Mississippi. I tell you what,
It was huge,
Like,
and all the natural habitat. The Indians survived all around.
but you don't hear terms like that in modern day, like this side of the Mississippi.
You're
Like,
not letting this go, are you? But anyways, it's been the feeders of it, all
Yeah.
the rivers and stuff, and they're
Blocked
all
out and
diverted,
everything, yeah.
used the water.
so it became an
And-
extinct lake, and now
there's
it's not
nothing but
extinct anymore.
Huge farming out there now. That all the farming land is all
Flooded.
underwater,
Yeah. Huh?
and it's not near the size it originally was.
No,
but still,
but
still a lot of area out there.
yeah. Well, I tell you what, this is the best history show this side of the Rio Grande. I don't know. Like, seriously, like, who uses rivers? Like, I don't know. It just seems so antiquated. Like, it's factually correct. It's not wrong. It just seems so old.
It's the biggest river in the West. Let's put it that way. Biggest lake in the West
Yeah.
at one time.
Yo, that makes more sense. This side of the Mississippi, like it's some kind of trophy. Wear it as a badge of honor.
Oh, God.
1942. Actually, no, 1941. U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt approved an atomic program that would become the Manhattan Project.
Ooh.
And actually, that's our thumbnail today. Manhattan, right here. You look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, what does this look like?
Nuclear sign, your nuclear sign or whatever.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
But what is it made of?
What do you call them?
Manhattan cocktail glasses.
Yeah. Manhattan, yeah.
So, but this is how the thing, like it was the Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
It was, like who thinks, it has something to do with the Manhattan drink. Why is it called the Manhattan Project? It wasn't in Manhattan, New York, so it was named after the drink. So then they just had drinks, for maybe like the three major people, like I don't know, like Oppenheimer and the General, and then something I don't know. And then they just had a circle around the thing, and then they simplified it and just shortened the circle just to cover the main container areas, got rid of the stems, and that's
But those are meant to be
cocktail glasses.
Yeah. What is it? Oh, Manhattan. Oh my.
Manhattan is a
Is
cocktail.
a drink. Yeah.
Yes.
Is a drink.
Yes, an alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
A cocktail. Right.
Yes.
So what's confusing?
I'm
you?
trying to think of the name of the drink. I'm trying to think of. I can't remember the
Manhattan.
name. But it's there's another. Yeah, I know. Okay, go on.
Well, no, I want to get to the bottom of this. What's why is your brain doing this?
I'm trying to think with vermouth and what's the drink that has vermouth and everything in it. I'm kind of getting
Drink
off whack.
with vermouth. Okay, 6 classic vermouth, yada yada, tonic, essential, Americano, Manhattan, Negroni.
Yeah, go on. Then move on. That doesn't matter.
Who drinks vermouth straight? What drink uses dry vermouth? Martini?
Martini. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Martini.
That's a glass with an olive in it, a martini. That's what I'm also thinking of.
Oh, yeah, martini is a cocktail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we got that solved, We got 1942, the Statute of Westminster. 1931 was passed by the Australian Parliament, formalized Australian autonomy. Cool.
Yeah.
1944, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill arrived in Russia for talks with Joseph Stalin.
Ooh.
So, yeah, where is that? 1944? Oh, yeah, we've already passed the Manhattan Project. So, yeah. So, we also have 44, German occupiers turned off electricity in Amsterdam. That's not nice. And speaking of electricity, 2 years later, 1946, the first electric blanket was manufactured, sold for $39.50, which is a lot of money back then.
Expensive, yeah.
Like that's, like, can you imagine shelling actually $39.50, 1946? Let's take a look at that.
My folks were big with electric blankets.
$635.99 today. So, can you imagine spending $600 for an electric blanket?
No, that was really
whoa.
expensive. I'm sure the price came down.
Well, definitely.
As they,
yeah.
like anything else. Like, look at what the first computers cost.
Oh.
For companies and whatnot, they were really expensive.
New technology always is.
Yeah.
Then it'll
come Grandma and Granddad were big on electric blankets.
Huh. Yeah, I remember they had one when I was a kid.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
They still use them? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember they giving me one or something, and I didn't want it because I was afraid I was going to get electrocuted, and it's just like...
I don't like the idea of it,
I don't either. Well, especially, like, what if, like, well, that's the other thing. It's heating you up. What do you do when you heat up? You sweat. What is sweat? Liquid. That doesn't go well with electrical currents.
It's supposed to keep you warm. You don't have them in the summer.
Well, still, like, I don't... Then that's just a recipe to get electrocuted.
I don't care. I don't like the concept of it either.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can even buy an electric blanket anymore. I'm sure you can.
Most likely, yeah. 1947, as I said earlier, first telephone conversation between occupants of a moving car and an airplane.
Whoa!
1947. Telephoning.
That's an
moving car
telephone.
and an airplane.
Whoa!
Has to be wireless.
Of course. Hold on. Why am I going in reverse?
Oh, hello, pardon me. Can you slow down a little bit? It's getting a little tad windy over here. But yeah, no, that's, and as I said, like, all these technologies, we think, oh, that's so incredible. No, it's not incredible. It happened. Why is it that we view it as incredible? Why are we so dumbed down technologically, awareness-wise, that this seems incredible? It came out.
Yeah.
It happened.
I mean, that's amazing.
Why is it amazing, though?
But I mean, it was amazing that it goes that far back, and the technology didn't. Why didn't we have it by 1957?
Because they're trying to keep it, keep the people, like, the people only have the literal garbage, the stuff that is so, like, beneath the military-industrial complex that it doesn't even see it as, like, anything relevant anymore.
Yeah.
We're literally living off of the scraps of the garbage of our rulers, and we have no idea what they have.
I remember many years ago I was in Vegas. Here's this guy walking down the street talking on a phone. The thing was like the size of a brick.
Oh yeah, one of those.
Yeah, I
like,
go, can you lift that? It's, it's on the whole side of his head.
Well, that's how you get your pumping, like your exercise. We also have 1947. Julie Stein and Sammy Chan's musical High Button Shoes premiered at the New Century Theater in New York City, later transferred to the Schubert, which was then the Broadway Theater in New York City, running for 727 performances.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to one that just blows that way out of the water.
That's over 2 years. It sounds like a lot, but it's over 2 years, which is a long time for a show.
Yeah, it is.
But still, not that long.
1949, Baseball World Series, New York Yankees defeated the Brooklyn Dodgers 10-6 at Ebbets Field for 4 games to 1 series victory. This started the Yankees' record run of 5 straight titles. Oh. Whatever that is. That sounds really good.
Yeah, well, they won the World Series five years in a row. That was a dark day for your mom, obviously.
Oh. Poor mom. 1951, Gil McDougall's World Series Grand Slam helped the Yankees defeat the Giants 13-1. Wow. 53, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill approved the Guyanese Constitution. All right. 1956, Ernest Hemingway visited fellow writer Pío Baroja at his hospital bed shortly before the Spaniard's death. Oh, wow. So they're both, well, he was a writer. They're both Spanish. This guy was an author and journalist, so they were both in the writing industry.
Yeah, okay.
So, why is this guy... Oh, that's Hemingway. That's why he looks so familiar. So,
Okay.
and then this guy was the one who died. 1958, Israeli Navy inaugurated its first submarine. I told you that earlier today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's sheesh.
1959, Lear Harvey Oswald arrived in Southampton, England. And for whatever reason, my source here, like, chronicles, like, this guy's travelings. So, like, we covered him, like, traveling by bus to Mexico or something earlier. Like, yeah, chronicled his travelings leading up to him being...
After the assassination.
Yeah, him being the fall guy for that. So, 1960, Cowboy quarterback Eddie LeBaron shot threw the shortest touchdown pass 2 inches. What?
2 inches.
2 inches.
First and goal on the 2-inch line.
Yeah, so it's just like
He passed it.
like how do you like limp wrist that?
Well,
to,
no.
Like
No,
I can
they
throw farther with 2 inches without even
He could have
trying.
thrown it to the. He could have thrown it to the end of the end zone.
Like what kind of Sheldon?
He could have thrown it 10 yards to the end of the end zone.
Yeah.
The back of the end zone.
Yeah.
But they only had 2 inches to get across the line to get the touchdown.
So he could have just done this.
Yeah.
So, like
2 inches, I could have. Okay. You
96
can literally pass it 2 inches in the air.
I know. Well, I know that now.
At least you're honest.
Just like catch this.
Could you please take it out of my teeth?
1961 Baseball World Series. New York Yankees won the 19th championship. 4-1 rout Cincinnati Reds 13-5 at Crosley Field in Game 5. Most valuable player, Yankees pitcher Whitey Ford.
Oh yeah,
All
little
right.
Whitey Ford.
This guy's pondering that baseball like it's an orb. Well, it is an orb technically. Oh. 1961 Tanganyika in East Africa became independent within British Commonwealth. Cool. We also have U.S. members of Communist Party obliged to report themselves to police. We should bring that back. So,
Where were they at?
U.S. members of Communist Party. Just
Oh,
if
U.S.
You're,
Okay.
if you're a member of the Communist Party of the United States, you have to turn yourself into the police. We should bring that back. So, 1962, Uganda became independent from the United Kingdom. All right. You know, let's do a cheer for Uganda. Here we go. Uganda.
Well, is the British Empire breaking down?
Yep.
Little by little.
It's there's a meme out there. It's really funny. For centuries, the British have been conquering the Third World. Now the Third World has conquered the British because of all the immigrants and all the violence and all the crimes coming in of all the illegals. You know, so
that's how Israel got formed, because that area was, and most of that area was ruled by the British at that time. In 1947.
Yeah, exactly. It was
and
Palestine.
They carved that out for the Israelis.
Yep, it was Palestine. You know, the white nations really got to stop, mingling with the borders of Middle Eastern nations. That's why, Iraq and Iran and all that stuff have all the problems.
In 1948, the Palestinians, who never, still to this day, don't accept it, attacked Israel and lost. So therefore, it happened again in 40.
Well, of course they lost, because they're backed by stronger
60,
powers.
68.
So
67, 68.
And let's not have that whole conversation. Anyway, what else do we got? 1963, French Air Force got first nuclear weapons. Ooh. Yeah. Hurricane Flora ravaged Cuba and Haiti, killing 6,000. Yikes. And
that's a big number.
Yeah, well.
Really big.
Well, this is a big number here. Not as big. It's actually 1/3 the size. But Vejont Dam disaster. A landslide created 50 million cubic meter wave, killing around 2,000 people in the Piave Valley in northern Italy.
No, that's a big wave. It's very,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just funneled like
Yeah.
like out of a movie scene. The collapse of a dam. You just see the wall.
Yeah.
1965, the Beatles' "Yesterday" single went on #1 and stayed #1 for 4 weeks. That's a good song.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
1966, Baseball World Series, Baltimore Orioles claim first championship in franchise history, edged out the LA Dodgers. Once again, poor mom with their, Dodgers can't get a break.
Yeah.
1-0 at Memorial Stadium for 4-0 sweep. MVP Orioles outfielder Frank Robinson. 1968, 2,000 students from Queen's University, Belfast, tried to march on Belfast City Hall to protest against police brutality, but were blocked by loyalists led by Ian Paisley. This led to formation of student civil rights group People's Democracy. Huh. All right. While that was going on, government seizes oil fields in Peru. That's dangerous. So, 1969, the Supremes released the single "Someday We'll Be Together," Diana Ross's last recording with the group. Yeah.
Yeah, she could go solo.
Yeah. 1970, the Khmer Republic, later Cambodia, declared independence. Let's give them a cheer. Come on, cheer. There we go.
Go Cambodia.
Cambodia! And then 1971, Japanese Emperor Hirohito visited the Netherlands. Yeah. He was the same emperor who ruled during the World War II. So
Yeah.
he was allowed to keep his position. Very, very lucky.
Yeah.
Very lucky. My God, he got out. He got out, smelling like roses.
So alive.
Yeah. We also have 1972. Dude opened at Broadway Theater, New York City. Ran for 16 performances. Dude, that's not a lot.
No, that's the short run.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute, is that the same as the Dude movie?
No, that's The Big Lebowski.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He was called the Dude.
Yeah,
So-
he was called the Dude. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a weird movie, but I always liked it.
Oh, I love it. I gotta watch it again, actually.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I enjoy seeing it.
La da 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 da. His dream flying over, L.A. and all that stuff.
I don't remember that exactly.
He always drank White Russians. That was his drink.
Oh, yeah, White Russians. Yeah, for sure.
1973, first general striking in Luxembourg since 1942. Wow. And that was during the war. Luxembourg, that's part of Germany.
Yeah.
1973, Israel announced loss of Bar Lev defense line and Suez Canal. Okay. Bar Lev, I guess during the Suez crisis.
Read it again.
Israel announced the loss of Bar Lev defense line, so a military defensive line in Suez Canal. There was a war there, right, between Egypt and Israel and all that stuff. The Suez.
Yeah.
So wasn't that the time, 1973?
Yeah, I think it would have been. Yeah.
So
yeah.
So Israel lost a defensive line to the Egyptians.
Yeah.
So we also have Warriors Cavalier game in Cleveland postponed because of wet floors. Oh, just slip around and deal with it. Come on. 1974, we have a race riot in Boston due to busing. I guess busing is when they load blacks on the buses and move them. Kind of like how we are doing that with the illegals.
We did that in California. They bus to get the numbers of blacks and whites in school. They bus kids around, so you didn't have all black schools, all white schools.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure that was the same thing we did here in California.
So there was a race riot because of that. People didn't want that, or whatever. I don't know. 1974 as well. Washington Capitals' first NHL game lost to 6-3 to the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Start of a 37-game road losing streak for Washington. Ooh. So for the next 37 games, they're going to lose, or for 36 games, they're going to lose. That's awful.
Yeah.
75, Emperor Hirohito of Japan visited San Francisco. Hear this guy again.
Running around.
Yeah. And that was what, 75? And that's weird because, it doesn't highlight this one.
Highlighted the other one.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, because this...
Where did he visit the other one? Do you remember?
Well, I can just...
Would it have been more significant?
The Netherlands. Well, no, see, this is what I'm thinking. Because this source is leftist and it hates this country, it will highlight something outside of the country.
Don't overthink
But not...
it.
Well, I'm not. Because why else?
I don't know. Why would the other one be highlighted? Not that one isn't. Why
because
was the other one
Hirohito, and he
highlighted?
fought against the white supremacists back in the 40s. According to the leftists. I don't know. These people are nuts. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1976, Peter Pethwick took hat trick on cricket debut New Zealand versus Pakistan. Javed first wicket.
Cricket.
So cricket has hat tricks too.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I still don't really know
what
what a hat
it
trick
is,
is.
but
yeah,
I know what a hat trick is in hockey.
yeah, I don't, but I know that that's the first,
Yeah.
known to my existence of what that is. In 1976 as well, Test cricket debut of Javed Manidad of Pakistan scored 163 on first day. Oh, cool! First day he hit a century. That's awesome. Oh no, I'm learning the terminology. I'm being forced to learn. Yanks' first American League Championship game defeated Royals 4-1, 76 as well. Finally getting out of 76, moving into 77. Soyuz 25 launched to Salyut 6 but returned after failing to dock. All right.
I remember the Soyuz or whatever it is, how you pronounce it.
Soyuz?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was
Russians.
a long, program. This
Yeah,
is Soyuz
yeah.
25.
No, I know.
So,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. I remember the program.
yeah. It was basically...
I don't remember this particular one, but
yeah. Well, like, they stuck to the Soyuz. We had the Mercury project to
Yeah, we had
get
a bunch
people
of
into
them,
space,
like
and then we had the Apollo project, and we
Yeah.
had this, and we had that, STS. So we change our names. They
As
just
we
keep it as Soyuz.
as we
Yeah.
change focus.
Yeah. 1977, Yanks rally for 3 in 9th and beat Royals 5-3 for pennant number 31.
Ooh.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
1978, P.W. Botha succeeded John Vorster as Prime Minister of South Africa. P.W. Botha, of course, being a strong arm of apartheid, not to be confused with F.W.D. Clerk, which F.W.D. Clerk is a good guy. P.W. Botha is a bad guy. But they're both, old white guys who are balding. So and
Oh, they look similar.
they
do
very similar. Yeah, P.W. Botha. Let me look up F.W.D. Clerk. Yeah. So here's F.W.D. Clerk.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get a. So
They're
old,
different, but yeah, close enough.
slightly different.
Yeah.
The pictures are
Could
different.
confuse them.
Yeah, and the fact that they both have initials, PW and FW,
Yeah.
they share W's,
Yeah.
massively confusing. 1980, we have the first consumer use of home banking by computer by United American Bank in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Banking.
Yeah, so being on home, not
Yeah.
going to the teller,
Yeah.
all that stuff. That's big. We have the abolition of capital punishment in France in 1981. And while that was happening, the United States Auto Club appeals panel restored disputed Indianapolis 500 victory to disqualified first across the line Bobby Unser. So, he was stripped of the title and later received it. 1982, we have an attack on a synagogue in Rome left 1 dead. Yikes. One dead, 100 dead, 1,000 dead, it's still death.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, so... That's why that article is in here. 1983, Rangoon, Burma, which is now Yangon in Myanmar, bombing. North Korean agents attempted to assassinate South Korean president, resulted in 21 deaths, including 9 South Korean government officials, presidential advisors and security team members, and 3 reporters. Wow. Yeah, that's right. They try to kill South Korea's leader outside of South Korea. They've tried that a couple of times. There's multiple of those things. 1984, astronaut Kathy Sullivan became the first U.S. woman to walk in space during a Space Shuttle Challenger mission, STS-41G.
I don't remember her. That's a shame.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back. Ring a bell. It just doesn't.
Huh. I find it funny they call them spacewalks. They should be called space floats.
Yeah, true.
1985, Strawberry Fields Memorial to John Lennon in Central Park, New York City, was dedicated by Mayor Ed Koch. Koch. Oh. Cool.
He was a character.
Huh.
Absolute character.
We also have 1986, The Late Show with Joan Rivers. Premieres on Fox. First woman to host a U.S. late night talk show, TV show. She is fired in May of 1987.
She didn't last night. I was going to say, I never saw it.
I just realized, because Joan Rivers is the one who, sounded like that, right? She was, the massive, face pull and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just realized she sounds like a raspy Donald Trump.
I don't think so.
I'm Joan Rivers. I'll tell you that. I'm Joan Rivers. Yeah.
Your
I'm
impression
just a
isn't
bit.
well.
I'm just a
Doesn't ring a bell,
businesswoman
that
doing business. I don't know. I am not.
She died going in and having a facelift.
Yeah, well, I mean, you live by the knife, you die by the knife. Hold on a second. I need to. Where's my drum roll? Oh. Rest in peace, Stone Rivers. Anyway.
Yeah.
1986, the stage musical Phantom of the Opera premiered in London, written by Andrew Lloyd Webber and starring Michael Crawford and Sarah Brightman, ran for 13,629 performances.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that blew that 701 like nothing.
Yeah.
Like almost has a full 13,000 over it. 629?
Yeah.
Another 100 or so would have been like a whole
Double.
Sweep. Double, more than that.
Yeah.
1986, U.S. Senate convicted U.S. District Judge Harry E. Caliborn, making him fifth federal official to be removed from office through impeachment. He had previously been criminally convicted of tax evasion.
Not good.
Oh, yeah, there's a picture of her.
Joan Rivers.
Yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
1987, Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll.
Yeah, there we go.
Documentary film directed by Taylor Hackford of 1986, concert celebrating rock and roll pioneer Chuck Berry was released. Hell yeah. 1987 as well, Japanese bank bought the Lady McGill stamp for $1,100,000. Lady McGill stamp. Let's look that up here really quick. A Lady McGill stamp. Ah, okay. A Canadian. Huh. All right. Well, they got massively screwed over. It says right there 5 cents. Man, they got reamed right there. 1988, 17% voted for extreme right Flemish bloc in Belgium, and I have a feeling that they said extreme right because once again, this is a leftist source, and everything not them is extremist, even though they're the extremists. But why is this here? Why do they find it extreme right? 17%. That is so small. If you're going to report on that, okay, then what's the percent for the extreme left? Moderate conservative, moderate liberal. Give me the whole thing across the board. Why are you focusing on the extreme right? Leftist source? So that's why I'm saying. It's so obvious. Anyway, 1988, Dennis Eckersley, first to save all 4 games in the championship series.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember him.
Well,
he's a relief pitcher. I think he was with the A's.
Eckersley,
yeah.
Yeah. 1 year later, 1989, first NFL game coached by a black U.S. citizen, Art Shell. His L.A. Raiders defeated the New York Jets 14-7 or 2-1 on Monday Night Football. All right.
14-7 or 2-1.
Yeah. Well,
are you reducing the fractions?
Well, what's 14-7?
Yeah. 2 touchdowns to 1 touchdown. Yes.
Yep. So. 1989 as well, Penthouse Magazine's Hebrew edition hits newsstands. All right. And then 365 days later, 1990, Saddam Hussein threatened to hit Israel with a new missile. Well, clearly that didn't work out. We also have radio stations around the world played Imagine, honoring John Lennon on what would have been his 50th birthday. Imagine.
Yeah.
1991, On Borrowed Time opened at Circle Square Theater in New York City. Ran for 99 performances. I guess that was on borrowed time.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm trying to make a joke here.
Yeah.
They couldn't hit 100. No. Bush declared total confidence in nominee Clarence Thomas. Yeah, this is a.
Yeah,
he was accused of some kind of.
Just got railroaded.
Because he's, because back in those times.
Conservative. That's the problem. Conservative black. Unacceptable.
Really sad how people segregate themselves with skin color.
He is one of our founding, staunch, great Supreme Court justices.
Yeah.
He is just top.
Clarence Thomas and Thurgood Marshall was the first black justice,
and
he was really good too.
He was liberal though, but he was so he wasn't hammered.
Yeah.
He was, I believe, no.
It just makes me physically sick knowing that that's the reason why he gets that shit thrown at him because he's black and he's a Republican. He's the enemy. Are you kidding me?
We can't tolerate that. That doesn't
disgusting.
That threatens their narrative.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, of course it's awful.
Anyway, 1991, Ecuador became a member of the Berne Convention copyright treaty. So what was I talking about? Bern before? The Bern in Switzerland?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Bern Convention Copyright Treaty.
Okay.
It is for the protection of literary and artistic works, usually known as the Bern Convention, was an international assembly held in 1886 in the Swiss city of Bern by 10 European countries with the goal to agree on a set of legal principles for the protection of original work. And it's still around today. And we every now and then, like, we speak about, like, like Chile or Indonesia or Ecuador or something, like, signs into the Bern Copyright Treaty. You know? Like,
okay, yeah.
So I'm just going to add this wiki in the underbar area just because I can. Haven't put in a link in a while. 1992, a 13-kilogram estimate meteorite landed in the driveway of Knapp residence Peekskill, New York, destroying the family's 1980 Chevrolet Malibu.
You think? I think it would destroy it. How big was it? How much was it again?
A 13 kilogram. 13 kilo.
Big.
2 pounds. 28 pounds. That's pretty hefty.
Yeah.
So, but, dude, like, of all the places it could have landed, you know, you have the entire world.
You land on my car.
Land on my fucking car. Like, God, that is a bitch.
You talk
you
about
know?
just,
like,
having a bullseye on you for bad things to happen.
Could you imagine, like, you know...
1 in 6 billion it is me.
Could you imagine, like...
Or 7 billion, whatever it is.
I just imagine... It wouldn't be billion, probably million, but, like...
No, people.
Oh, people, okay. But no, can you, like, I'm just imagining you in the house, like, you're just, like, sitting there, like, reading the newspaper, you know, smoking your pipe, boom, you know, you go outside, oh, God damn it, you, of all the places, shake your fist at God, you know, why have you forsaken me? Anyway, 1992 as well, the action thriller film Under Siege, directed by Andrew Davis, starring Steven Seagal in his most famous role, was released.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, Seagal has gone downhill since then. But I can say a thing or two about that poor guy. We also have a great meteorite seen from Kentucky to New York. Whoa, that's pretty big.
That's huge.
1994, Australian parliamentary election, 23% extreme right. Once again, they're pointing out the extreme right. Why are they doing that? You know, like, I know I'm a broken record, you know, like, you know, leftist source, but seriously, like, why? Like, honestly, like, what's the point? Why are they hammering this down their throats? You know?
Because the left
is the left. I know why.
Extremely astute at linguistics.
Mm-hmm.
They never miss an opportunity.
They use their knowledge for evil. 1997, ABL players allowed to own stock in the league. Okay, that's pretty unique. Hurricane killed 123 in Acapulco, Mexico. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Yeah. I found that interesting. The New York Rangers were the first NHL team to open with 4 straight ties. Huh. 1999, the last flight of the U.S. aircraft Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. I really doubt that they'd stop flying that. Like, you know, last time that they'll say it publicly, it was flown, of course. And moving on up to the year 2001, second mailing of anthrax letters from Trenton, New Jersey in the 2001 anthrax attack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They never solved that, did they?
No. Well, of course not, because the FBI was behind it, you know?
Oh, well,
so,
okay.
I mean, you know, like, they gotta really push the narrative. They gotta really push the false flag, you know? Like, hey, a Saudi Arabian knocked down the Twin Towers. Let's go invade Iraq. That makes sense, you know? 2006, North Korea conducted its first nuclear test with an estimated yield of between 0.4 to 2 kilotons. Yep, here we go. 2007, Low, single released by Flo Rida, Billboard Song of the Year in 2008. I wonder what that song was. I'm going to look that up here. I'm going to listen to it after the show. Low, Flo Rida. Oh. What else do we have? 2009, the first lunar impact of the Centaur and LCROSS spacecraft as part of NASA's Lunar Precursor robotic program. Okay.
Where the robotic arm comes from and whatnot?
No, this is like, no, that's
yeah.
First off, that was made in Canada.
Oh.
So, just to let you know, the robotic arm, that's on the shuttle, that's a Canadian thing. So, but no, this is like on the lunar surface robots.
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
Like,
okay, yeah.
No. 2012, 25,000 people in Athens protested against German Chancellor Angela Merkel. I agree with him. So, I don't know anything about her politics. I just know she was crap. So, 2012 as well, women's rights and education activist Malala Yousafzai was shot 3 times by Taliban gunmen as she tried to board her school bus in Swat district of northwest Pakistan. I remember talking about this a year ago. She was still in high school. She was born in 1997, and this happened in 2012.
Yeah.
So,
15, 16.
Yeah. You're that young, and you're already being, activist to the point where people are trying to kill you. You're a fucking kid. How bad is the world?
Yeah.
The people who try to kill her should have been like, hey, let's stop a second. Why are we trying to kill a fucking child?
Yeah.
What is wrong with us?
Yeah.
Seriously. Even if she's 100% in the wrong, you don't kill a kid. By
the way,
you don't kill anybody.
No.
So
Angela Merkel, one of the things she did is got rid of or stopped using nuclear power to power and push them towards
using coal again.
Russian gas.
Yeah, that's right.
Not coal, Russian gas.
Well, no, but after the explosion
Trump
of the pipeline,
he says you can't depend on Russia like that.
Yeah,
they laughed at him.
But no, no, they were. I saw something. They're destroying sections of wind farms for new coal power. For new coal.
Oh, as an emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reaction because they got cut off from Russia.
Yeah.
So that's the reaction.
Because we blew up the Nord Stream pipeline and blamed it on Russia. So. What else do we got here? 2014, Gatwick, Heathrow, and JFK airports enhanced screening for the Ebola virus. All right. 2017, producer Harvey Weinstein was fired from the Weinstein Company after allegations of sexual abuse. Good. Bye-bye. So,
is he finally in jail?
I hope so.
I think he should be by now.
Numerous allegations. So, yeah, 2020, sentenced to 23 years in prison. So hopefully he's serving time now. 2019, nearly 1 million people in Northern California have their power cut off by Pacific Gas and Electric to prevent wildfires amid high winds. And a lot of those, they say that they inform people. But a lot of the times they did not, because there are many people, you are at home under hospice care or under, CPAP machines or under this or under that, and they cut the power, and then they died.
Oh, man.
Elderly people, not hospital, not too bad, but still needed something at home.
Yeah.
And then they cut off the power without warning, and then just let them die. Awful. 2019 Nobel Prize for Chemistry awarded to John B. Goodenough, M. Stanley Whittingham, and Akira Yoshino for development of lithium-ion batteries. Goodenough, oldest ever winner at 97. Well, I guess that's good enough. What a name, good enough.
Yeah.
He was good enough for the Nobel Prize.
But not great.
Then, last but not least, 2022, just last year, we have the brightest cosmic explosion ever seen, a gamma ray burst 2.4 billion light years away, thought to be a massive star collapsing to form a black hole in a 1 in 10,000 year event. So
that was last year.
I remember hearing about that. We witnessed a gamma ray burst. That's big. If we had gotten hit, we would have been cooked.
Yeah.
Even 2.4 billion light years away, if we'd even been a glancing blow of that gamma ray burst, Earth would be literally cooked.
Really?
Yeah, the gamma ray is massively it's terrifying. One of the few things that terrifies me of the cosmos, gamma rays and magnetars. Magnetars from I think a couple hundred light years away can pull the iron out of your blood. They're so magnetic.
I've never heard of them.
They can wipe.
How do they form?
They're actually a type of pulsar. Because a pulsar is a dwarf star, it's a collapsed neutron star. But a pulsar spins around, and that's what it pulses. It looks like it's pulsing, like a pulsing light.
Okay.
It spins around at 1,000 rotations a second. A magnetar goes even faster than that, and That's why it's a magnetar. It's spinning around so fast, it creates such a powerful magnetic field. Like our spinning mantle and everything.
Yeah.
Well, take that, like basically compress the sun into like a grain of sugar, and then now have it do 1,000,000 rotations a second. That's a magnetar.
Okay.
Terrifying. So, yeah. That will conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. Links to our link tree will take you to our video streaming sharing sites, our social medias, our affiliates, and of course these links here that we've been collecting throughout the show will be there post-show. Anyway,
look them up, folks.
Yeah, for your dose of passive events daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time, which is 12 Mountain, 1 Central, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got it right this time.
How about that?
I know, right? I was a mess yesterday. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you are you. Until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!